So this is going to be one of those more, let's call them, interesting manga hauls, but it's related to something that I explained in my former video of what manga do I plan to buy in 2021. But anywho, I am very much looking forward to show you what I have bought this month. So yeah, I'm just excited. Hello, this my name is Daidarius and welcome to my manga haul of January 2021. Now before we get into the manga haul, and don't worry, I'm gonna be extremely brief. It's gonna be a bit different this month, and the reason is that 2 weeks back I was sent an email by Book Depository that, hey brother, we have now opened up for new orders in Europe, including your country, so please order away. And believe me, the first thing I did was, I pretty much just straight away just jumped in and ordered my January manga haul on Book Depository. Unfortunately, 2 weeks time seems not to be just enough time to actually get them delivered here. So I did something else beforehand. I did it earlier in this month, so that is what I'm gonna show to you right now. So let's dive in with the first one. And that is Sandland by Akira Toriyama in the Danish version. Now, Sandland is a manga that you actually are able to buy on Viz. At least if you go into their website, you can see that you can buy this volume in English. But the thing is that right now all Akira Toriyama related mangas that I own are in Danish, and considering that this actually exists in Danish, even though it is used, I thought I'm gonna give it a go, see if I'm able to dig it up. Now, this particular volume here is 17 years old, roughly. It came out in 2004, which is why the pages are yellowed and all that stuff. But besides that, it's actually in quite good condition. And just in general, all Danish manga related stuff that I buy have to be in used condition, because Carlsen Manga, which is, I think it's a German distributor of books in general, which have a Danish department, shut down the Danish department of manga roughly 10 or 11 years ago. So every time I need some manga in Danish, I unfortunately have to buy it used, but luckily there are some people out there who take good care of their old manga, so I can get it. So this is Sandland. It is a 1-volume story by Akira Toriyama, and I think I have read it before, but I'm not sure. If I have read it, it's been like, 10 or 15 years, so I can't really remember. But I'm looking forward to reading it, and I'm glad that I can now expand my Akira Toriyama department of my manga collection a tiny bit more. Now, there are still another manga that I need to buy, which, as far as I know, doesn't exist in English, and the used Danish one I found, their quality is kind of iffy, but I will check it out in the next month. But nevertheless, the first one of the year, Sandland. Here's the question. I don't really have room down here to put it in. Let's just put it over here. Yeah, you're gonna have to make it. Now, next up is a more special manga, if you ask me, and that is again Akira Toriyama's Nekomajin. Now, Nekomajin, apparently, if we go again on Viz's website, only one chapter of this was translated into English officially. Which again meant that if I wanted to acquire this manga, then I would have to buy a used Danish one, because again, it was translated into Danish. Which means in extension, I'm pretty sure it is translated into English, because all the Carlsen mangas that was Danish translated was translated from the German one. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it is in German. Now, this is a bit newer. It's not as old as the former one. This was printed back in 2007, which was still so many years ago. I don't want to think about it, because then I'm gonna feel like I am old. Now, this is a bit bigger, and again, I don't really think I have read it. I'm not sure. I don't think I've read it before. I've just skimmed it, but I'm looking forward to it. And again, since it is in Danish, then it's gonna go down in my Akira Toriyama corner down here because that is in Danish. And I'm gonna put it beside Sandland, so it's gonna kind of fuck the whole order thing up. Anywho, that is a problem for another day. But I am looking forward to reading this. And the only other Danish translation that I am missing is Kajika. Now Kajika is, I found 2 used one on Danish websites. One seller doesn't respond to me, the other seller has the worst resolution on an image ever of the book, and it looks kinda used, but tear it up. But maybe I'm just gonna have to acknowledge that that's the only condition. I'm gonna get it in and then just buy it. I mean, it is dirt cheap. I'm gonna have to buy like for what, $2 or $3 or something equivalent of that. So it's not much, but yeah, 2 down, 2 to go in my Akira Toriyama department. No! And that does mean that if we take my list that I made in the former video, put it right there, then we can already cross out those 2 volumes. So, hey, we are making progress on the 2021 list. That is good. Now, again, since all the mangas that I bought or ordered on Book Depository hasn't arrived yet, they're gonna have to be pushed until the February manga haul, which means that whatever I'm gonna order for the February manga haul, if I also manage to get that before I made the video, then that's gonna be a bigger haul, so maybe an interesting video. Who knows? Now, I only have 2 volumes left, and they are connected, but they are different. They are manga related, but they are different. And I am so fucking excited to show it to you. So here we go. And that is Shonen Jump 2021 issue 3 and 4, which you see right here. And Shonen Jump 2021 issue 5 and 6. And as you can see here, when you put them side by side, it kind of creates this bigger cover. And also, if you put them side by side, you kind of get this spine art right here. Now, why I have bought these, I'm gonna get back to in a moment, but I have considered, I haven't really researched it that much yet, but I have considered buying more of the Shonen Jump One Piece covers. And the ones I'm thinking about is this double cover from 2017, this double cover from 2019, the first cover of One Piece ever, which has been made into a reprint, so it should be cheaper than if you want to get the written one back from August in 1997. And maybe the first one after the time skip, I'm not quite sure, but most importantly, those 2 double covers, that original one, probably in the reprint, and one I really want, is this 3 cover issue of Shonen Jump right here. And the funny thing is that if you go on One Piece Wikia, it only shows these 2 double covers as well as the one that I have bought, and that is it. It doesn't really have anything about this triple cover right here, which was a promotion for Strong World back in, I believe it was 10 it came out. Anyway, but I do want those because they are special, and I am a huge One Piece fan, even though I haven't really expanded on my One Piece collection for a long time. Now, why did I buy these 2 Shonen Jump volumes? Well, first of all, I know a tiny bit of Japanese. I am learning it slowly. It's taking a long time with having, you know, a full-time job and girlfriend and a lot of stuff, and this for that matter. But I am slowly learning it, so it's a good practice for me. But secondly, and more important, this issue right here has chapter 1000 of One Piece, which is insane. That is just completely nuts. 1000 chapters of One Piece. There is very few mangas, relatively speaking, that has ever gone past 1000. And there's even this one page on Wikipedia where you can see those mangas with most volumes and or most chapters throughout the years. I mean, One Piece is never gonna be on top because that is like a 3000 plus chapters manga that has been made almost daily or something. But anywho, 1000 chapters, and considering that this is a huge fucking milestone, then I thought, I might as well buy it. And also then I can see how these Jump comics that I heard so much about throughout my long career journey of reading One Piece actually looks like. And mine has come a bit banged up. It could be hard to see. It's not much. It's not much. I don't know if you can see it. It's just tiny. It's a little bit banged up here at the spine. And the same as the pages here. And that is the same for both volumes. But again, this is made from exceptionally cheap paper. The printing quality in here is fucking bad. But that is to keep the price low. So the paper is recycled. The printing quality is horrendous. I think the plan is that in Japan, once you have read it, you just kind of throw it out. Which is why it is as cheap as it is. It costs, let's see, it costs roughly 300 yen, which is the equivalent of $2.86 roughly. So that is nothing. So that is why it's dirt cheap. Let me just quickly show you an image that kind of shows you the printing quality in here. And then I'm gonna wrap up this video. So as you can see, the black hasn't really been filled out. Some of the details are extremely tough to actually see, and also the fact that all the pages in here are in different colors, and I've skimmed through it, and a lot of times it's kind of hard to see what has actually been drawn on the page, which makes the scanlation even more impressive now that you have to think about it. But this is how it looks, the final page on chapter 1000. And also these two volumes come with this thing right here, which looks like it is some of the major things that have happened throughout the year. Yeah, so I'm gonna quickly take this out from this volume here and also the one from the former one. Just take a look at the big epic spread of chapter 1000 and compare it to chapter 100, which this is an updated version on, and then I'm gonna call it a video. Shit, I actually managed to tear the poster a bit. It is a cheap poster, but it kind of hurts me. Anywho, it looks awesome. And right here on the right, you can see that there is a lot of characters, 3D models, I think, or something that you can buy, figurines. Sorry for the glare and my feet for scale, apparently. And then on the left, you have the years 1997 up until 2020. And it shows you some highlights of events that has happened throughout the years, and a little summary that you see right there. And then once we flip this thing over, you can kind of get a sense of the scale of this thing. Now, for some reason, they haven't actually printed it to the margin or the edge here. So you get this really weird overlap. So you have to actually move one poster above the other. And it's just, I think it's awkward that you have this line of text above it, but that's just how it's gonna be apparently. And then afterwards, this is the full image. This is how it looks like, and again, it is quite huge. You can kind of see my feet as some sense of scale. It is humongously big, and it looks freaking fantastic. And for a better scale, you can kind of see them here. They are big. They are fucking big. I unfortunately happened to tear them up a bit, but then again, these are not why I bought the Shonen Jump. It's more that it contains chapter 999 and chapter 1000. And just to cap off, I just want to show you the original picture that you got in chapter 100 here, and then you have this over here in the better resolution of chapter 1000, so you can see the comparisons between them. But I am of course very happy of actually having the Shonen Jump covers right here on Shonen Jump volumes, whatever. And also one final thing before I cap you off. One of these Shonen Jump magazines came in an envelope. I mean, both did, but this one came in a funny envelope. Let me just quickly grab it. It came in this envelope right here. I'm not gonna show the other side because that shows my address. But apparently the transport company, or whatever you're gonna call it, transport company, is apparently called, look right here, it's called Yamato. And if you are caught up on One Piece manga, then you know Yamato is a pretty important name in that series. Fuck off. So that is my manga haul of January 2021. Not much, 2 manga volumes and then 2 special Shonen Jump volumes, and that is it. Next month there should be a lot more. And just to cap off, I mean, I've said that a lot of times, but this I really mean, just to cap off, I am almost done. After actually recording this and editing this video, I'm gonna complete the writing of my Solanin review. And then I'm gonna spend 1 week refining it, and then hopefully next weekend, I don't think I have anything planned, I should be able to record all the footage and audio for that review, so I can spend the next couple of weeks editing it. And in the meantime, once I have recorded it, I'm gonna start reading Sandome, and then hopefully once this new Solanin review is done, I'm gonna use that as a template to see how I'm gonna review Sandome. But anywho, I am gonna finish writing it this weekend, and then I'm gonna refining the following week, and then next weekend I'm gonna record everything so I can start editing it. It's not gonna be a epic video or anything, it's just for me to kind of learn how to do better reviews. So that's why it's taking so long. I just want to make sure that I'm actually improving it. So don't expect the most epic video or review ever once it jumps. The video jumps once it lands. It's hopefully just better than the other manga reviews that I've done. Holy shit, I can't talk. I'm also sweating as hell. This shirt here is thick as fuck, so my body can't breathe anything. So I'm just gonna end it there. So, quickly, what manga did you buy in January? And if nothing else, what manga do you intend to buy next month? And hopefully I will have gotten my ordered for January and Book Depository, and hopefully also my February order, so we can have a bigger manga haul here in the next month. But whatever. Whatever you have bought or anything, comment below me your thoughts. And as always, until I see you in the next video, remember to stay awesome. Bye! Okay, I need some air.